It's a good year to be a G-fan. One of the reasons is the upcoming Apple streaming series Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. The new series is set to follow a group investigating the mysterious organization and the kaiju that have started to overrun the Earth. Set to expand the so-called legendary Monsterverse, the Apple series can also fix three key things that have been troubling the film franchise for almost a decade now. One of the unique things about the series is that it looks like Goji himself will play a much smaller role in the overall story. While there have been 4 feature films thus far in the legendary verse, 3 out of the 4 explored Godzilla and his backstory. By taking Goji and moving him to a background influence in the series, we get the opportunity to see a world that is affected by but not centered around the big god lizard. Monarch can help expand the Monsterverse with new stories that aren't centered around the 2 basic ideas of how do we stop Godzilla and how do we point Godzilla at the thing we want him to fight. Of course, if you're going to expand the Monsterverse, you need some good characters to do it with. Monarch could be introducing us to the franchise's first fully realized human characters. While the series has featured Millie Bobby Brown and Aaron Taylor Johnson as leads, they haven't really stood out as memorable or even overly interesting. Monarch looks to change that with Kurt Russell and his real-life son Wyatt Russell playing the same character over multiple decades. It's the kind of ambitious generational storytelling that could help tie a lot of the universe together. Now human characters are all well and good, and their inclusion in a Godzilla story has always been necessary and important, despite what some G-fans say. However, we all know why we are coming to this series, and that's the giant monsters. Well, Monarch looks to give us even more as it will be featuring several new monsters, including a giant worm creature that freezes people. Expanding Goji's roster is always a good thing, and Monarch promises unique monsters that go beyond the usual Mutos and Skullcrawlers.